Hello and welcome back to another ready meal review. Here we have Lidl's frozen version of the sweet and sour chicken with rice. This 400-gram ready meal cost an unbelievable 99 pence. I think that is pretty much a record nowadays. I don't think you'll find a ready meal much cheaper than this for this size. It has the rice, of course, and of course the sweet and sour chicken. Now, there are no bells and whistles. It is literally as it's shown on the packet. There's nothing extra that comes with this, but I don't think you really need anything. So let's have a look at the nutrition. 450 calories worth of food, 17.6 grams of sugar, which is quite a lot, but it is sweet and sour, of course. There's a lot of sugar in sweet and sour chicken. And 1.84 grams of salt, which is an awful lot of salt. This ready meal, by all means, is not meant to be good for you. This is meant to be a weekly meal that you have if you're on a budget, or if you just simply fancy it but don't want to spend the money on the really expensive versions. So let's take a look at the back of the packet. We have the usual Lidl enormous barcode, of course, the massive cooking instructions, which the text is still quite small, so you do have to hold it quite close to read it, but at least they have the cooking instructions for microwave and oven. I am surprised. I was expecting it to just be microwave, but in fact they do have the oven cooking instructions as well. So here we go, we have cooked chicken breast pieces in a sweet and sour sauce with red peppers and pineapple pieces served with rice. So unsurprisingly, it's sweet and sour, but it is actually a surprise because you can't actually see any of those parts in here. Maybe a little bit of red pepper if you look at it closely, but you can't see really any chunks of pineapple in here. So you do actually get more than you expect. It is 49% cooked long grain rice and 11% chicken. And interestingly to note, the chicken is 99% chicken, and I'm assuming the remaining 1%, of course, is the salt. Here is the nutritional information. If you'd like to take a moment to pause the video, you can read that in full, of course. And of course, your frozen storage instructions here. And recycling. But who recycles, really? So, this is the ready meal. I'm going to get it unboxed, and I'm going to get it in the microwave. I've chosen the microwave because the oven cooking takes a whopping 40 minutes. That's a lot of electricity cost just for a ready meal. I'm going to choose the 800 watts, 9 minutes in the microwave, and I'll show you exactly what it's like and how it tastes. Okay, so here is the cooked final result of the ready meal. So we've got, I would say, a third of it is rice, and the remaining part, obviously, your sweet and sour chicken. Now you do have to mix it halfway through, which I have done, but I've been ever so careful to try and not blend the two, because I wanted the good gradient of the rice and the sweet and sour. If I sound a little bit different, it's because I've got a cough that I'm trying to get rid of, so I'm hoping that doesn't interfere with the review. So I'm going to start with the rice and try not to get it everywhere. Usually I find rice here is quite dry because it didn't say on the ready meal instructions to add any water, just as to cover. So I'm expecting this to be quite dry. It's very rubbery, incredibly dry. Wow. I don't think I've had rice that dry and that rubbery ever. Now, I believe on the channel before, we have tried this ready meal before. Now, I haven't re-watched the video on purpose. Firstly, I wanted to see if this was any different. And secondly, I didn't want it to interfere with how I feel about it now, because this is a plain and honest review of the ready meal itself. No gimmicks, no reaction to the camera. This is just exactly how it is. So rice so far, very dry, very, very rubbery. It's hard to describe, but it's almost like a chalky taste in your mouth. So I'm going to try some of the rice with some of the sauce on. I don't believe there's any chicken or pineapple in there. I'll show you to the camera. So this is the rice with the sauce on. Try not to get it everywhere. Okay, that makes it 10 times more what's the word? 10 times more, not viable. bearable, I'd say. It makes it such a difference because the rice ultimately becomes more soft and clumpy as opposed to just dry and rubbery. Yeah, this is much better texture. The sauce itself, as you can see, incredibly thick and glossy. You can see just how thick the sauce is. It's got a very strong tomatoey taste. It's not too sour. There is quite a lot of sugar in it. It is a sweet and sour at the end of the day. So I'm glad to see they haven't skimped on sugar because of, restrictions on nutrition. I'm going to show you a piece of chicken. So the chicken is in, I'd say, arguably quite medium-sized chunks. It's not too big. I prefer them slightly smaller, so I'm going to cut one in half just because you never know if this chicken is rubbery or not. So I'm going to try some chicken with, of course, the sauce on. It is a little bit bouncy. It's definitely got a texture to it. It's not melt in your mouth soft. Because I didn't expect that for 99p. But, to be fair, it's not as dry as I expected. It's not as rubbery as I expected either. Let's try some rice with the remaining part of the chicken. It's quite a big piece of chicken, this, so hopefully this isn't rubbery. For 99p, I think this is a game changer. The rice does become more rubbery. As you can tell, it's taken me a long time to eat it. But the sauce actually makes up for it. That glossy, rich sauce, very good. I'd quite happily have a pot of that sauce, to be honest. Chicken, reasonably good quality, good sized chunks. Does seem that you get a fair amount of it. I haven't, from looking so far, been able to see any pineapple, so I can't taste that. And I don't see any red pepper. I believe this is a piece of pineapple. Very tiny parts. So yeah, you do get a small amount of chicken, I would say. It's not a huge amount, but it is 99p. You get a large portion of rice. Ultimately the rice is about here, so it is probably about half. A lot of the sauce was actually covering it, so you do actually get a lot more rice than you expect. Overall, I think for 99p, this would serve you very well. If you just wanted sweet and sour in the week, and it's just you, and you didn't want to cook it, this is far cheaper. I believe the jars of sweet and sour sauce are about between 50 and 80p generally for the really cheap ones. And you're going to be paying probably at least £1 for some packet rice, one that's like in the microwave. So this is far cheaper than making it yourself. Doesn't mean necessarily it tastes better. I think arguably you could get one that tastes better if you made it individually, put it together. But as a ready meal, and that's pretty good going in my opinion. For 99p, I'd definitely buy that again. If you found this review helpful, then please like the video, make sure to subscribe for future videos, and give me a comment if you've tried this one before. This was the 99p Lidl Ready Meal Sweet and Sour. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.